So, Penhill is injured and won't make the Cheltenham Festival. Bollocks! Let's get into this week's video anyway. Look, we're just over a week away from it. I was sitting in college there, and I was flicking through Instagram and Facebook for fucking, I don't know, 20 minutes, and next thing just pops up, Penhill is a non-runner. And Jesus, I don't know like what the story is. So yeah, I was fucking heartbroken there. I had been a few bets, but it wasn't really serious. But it takes away from the edge of the race to have the defending champion come back and see can he do it again. Looking at the race now, it kind of looks in favour of Paisley Park. I'll get on to that to looking at the race again in my final selections. I'm going to do that just after this video. This is my last, my last week of the anti-post selections. And yeah, we're just in this terms of the stairs hurdle, we have Sam Crow is going to have a run or workout tomorrow. I think I'm doing this on Monday, so he's going to have a workout tomorrow, and we'll see. I think they're going to make the decision then whether to run him in the stairs hurdle or not. So hopefully he does. I'd like to see him running in it, even though I don't think he'll win it, but I'd like to see him running in it, make it competitive, because like without Penhill, it's kind of, you're looking at Faheen and Paisley Park, and then the rest of them you're really clutching at straws for the rest of them to win. So we'll get straight into my selection. I've only have one selection this week because I don't really fancy any of the handicaps yet. I might do a handicaps video next Monday just before Cheltenham and just go through the handicaps, but I'm not too big into the handicaps. Right now, if I was to make a selection for the handicaps, it's not a big one, it's just Uredale. I think Uredale is well handicapped, and I think whatever race he goes into, he'd be have a very good chance of winning it. But in terms of my selection this week, my last selection, I'm going to pick OK Corral for the National Hunt Chase. He was good last year in the Yellow Bartlett. He got very close to winning it. Okay, he didn't win it. Breaking the Storm is a good horse, and I think he has an each way chance in the stairs hurdle. Obviously the chasing never worked out for him, and yeah, they didn't continue with it, and they changed him up. But in terms of OK Corral, I know he's 3-1. He's been 3-1 for a while. It's probably I don't know if it's a bit short or it's a bit too big. Whatever way you look at it, because if you're looking at it like, he hasn't gone 4 mile before, and it's around Cheltenham, and you know yourself, it's going to be a very hard test for him. That's what I'm looking at in terms of 3-1 is a bit short. But then if you look at it, 3-1 is a decent enough price, because other than Ballyward, I couldn't really make a case for any more. Like Champagne Classic he's okay. He might get there. He might go for the race, but I couldn't. Like a 6-1 again is a bit short for him. Discorama is okay as well. Delta Work won't go for the race. I haven't really seen anything that's good enough to beat the two of them, him or Ballyward. Saying again, Ballyward and OK Corral could run in the RSA and give a very good account for themselves. But just in terms of, it's the last week, and as a selection, I am confident enough that he will run a good race, and OK Corral is my selection. Just to recap on my selections that I've done. Obviously you have the challenge as well. Check out the first video if you want to see the challenge that I set myself, and just recapping through my best. I had a look at them this morning there, just going through them again. First video I went with Lorena and Tiger Roll. I had Lorena at 7-2. Her price hasn't really changed for the champion hurdle now. But Tiger Roll, I said at 5-2. You wouldn't be getting 5-2 now, boys. And the second video was Penhill. So look, we'll say no more. And a champ at 4-1. Looking at it again, I was surprised there. A champ at 4-1 is a good price. Considering I think he's 9-4 or something now for it. And he looks like he's going to have a very strong chance in that race. And then the third race, I had 3 selections. I had Defi Desai for the JLT. It's kind of, I think, what I'm reading of is that the JLT is still his main target, but he could easily go for the Arkle as well, which is a bit of a bollocks of a decision really. If you're going to take on Layler and Glenforsa, I think they should stick to the JLT, where they only really have lots of translation that's going to actually give him a really test. And then I had Benny Didier for the Mayor's Hurdle. I think it was around 15-8 or 2-1 that I said it. Maybe we'll say 6-4. 6-4 still a price. I know for my local bookmakers, she was 6-4 last week, and I was looking at the price. I was like, Jesus boys, that's a huge price. So I went in on Benny Didier at 6-4, and then the next one I had Delta Work at 7-2. Is still the same price really. I think it's 3-1 now, but you know, it's still the same. I had Sir Eric as well at 11-8. There's a small bit of value in that now, considering he's nearly evens. I think he'll probably be an odds-on shot on the day. And then last week, just looking at them again, I had Epidante at 5-2 and Layler at 5-2. Stay still. Like looking at realistically, I've only got Penn Hill that's kind of thrown out. I also put Commander of Fleet in for the Albert Bartlett. I got him at 16-1, but I didn't, like, obviously most of these wouldn't have gotten him at 16-1. I think he's like 7 or 8-1 now for it, which is okay, but it's the Lisgan and Oscar I think is looking to be the main. I think he'll be my main selection for that race. Yeah, looking at them, if I was to mark them out of 10, we'll say their chances, I'd give Lorena a 7, maybe, considering you have Apples, Jade and Boover there. Tiger Roll probably a 9. Nearly a 10, I'd say. I won't give it a 10 because it is not a certainty. It is a cross country, but it's very close to a certainty. Penn Hill is Champ is, I'd give Champ a 7 or an 8 really, more likely an 8. Defi Desai probably a 7 or an 8 depending on if he shows up. If he shows up, he'd be an 8. You know, Benny Didier is more likely a 9 as well. I think she's nailed on it. The only thing that's going, like I said it the last time, the only thing that's going to beat Benny Didier is probably the ground. I would advise you still to have just to think about Lorena for the Mayor's Hurdle, just in case. Say they don't run Benny Didier, say the ground is too just something happens or whatever, and I think she's like 5-4. If they throw Lorena into that, like, it's a handy enough race, she'll win it. But I know the Champion Hurdle is her main target, but just in case, you never know. Go back then, Commander of Fleet, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7. It's Albert Bartlett's I couldn't be confident in an Albert Bartlett horse at all. Delta Work I'd probably give an 8. I think Delta Work will be very, very close, and I think he's still good value at 3-1 for the price. Sir Eric is nearly a 9, I'd say. Layler is probably an 8, depending on if Defi Desai goes, and then Glenforsa is still there as well. And then Epitante is probably a 7 or an 8, considering really only Honeysuckle that's going to look to give her a challenge. Yeah, and that's really my selections anyway that I've gone through. Just in terms of this week, I'm going to give it to OK Corral and maybe Eurodel if you're thinking of Eurodel for any of the handicaps. Maybe wait until see. Well, if you get your non-runner no better, you might back it for to win any race. But I think it is 2 handicaps that it's mainly going to be aimed at. Look, that's really it. I'm going to go to. We're just going to have just to make a bit of fun for the video, considering it's the last one. I'm going to have a run through of the four main ones. We're going to go Champion Hurdle, Champion Chase, Stayers Hurdle, and the Gold Cup. I'm going to give just a few selections of previous winners, and then just how, in terms of how the top 3 really in the market for the races compared to the previous winners, right? I'm just going to run through them. I want to know in the comments down below, give me your selections of where you think these would finish if this was the race. Say the Champion Hurdle, give me your first, second and third, and the same with the other 3 races, if you're bothered to. If not, sure, look, I'll just talk and you listen. If not, turn off. Make sure you like it and subscribe as well. We're going well enough. I think I have over 30 subscribers now, so on the boys. Right, yeah, we'll start off with Champion Hurdle. This is my opinion. I haven't seen, like, I would have been very young when most of these were winning, but I knew of the horses, like I knew what they were good enough. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to list them out, and then I'm going to give you my first, second and third, right? So for the champion hurdle, we're going to go Isterbrak, Hardy Usus, Brave Inca, Punjabi, Hurricane Fly, Jeski, Faheen, Annie Power, Bouverdaire, Opus Jade, Lorena. If all them ran in the race, we'll say next week, I'll go Isterbrak first, I'd say Faheen second, and I'd say Annie Power third. It's just my opinion. Yeah, I really like Annie Power, and I think she could get a third spot in it. Faheen, I think it would be between Faheen and Isterbrak, and Isterbrak has won it 3 times or whatever I think it is. Don't quote me on that. I don't. He won it twice anyway. But it was a very long time ago for me to be. I knew of the horse, but yeah. We go on to the champion chase. We have Moscow Flyer, Mastermind, Big Zeb, Size in Europe, Sprinter Sacra, and Altior. It's not as big as the champion hurdle because there's not too many that's gonna challenge. My one would be Altior, Sprinter Sacra, and Moscow Flyer. I do remember Moscow Flyer, and he was a very good horse. And Sprinter Sacra is a class horse, but Altior is Altior. Moving on. Stayers hurdle now. We have Big Bucks, Solwit, More of That, Cole Harden, Thistlecrack, Nichols Canyon, Penhill, Faheen, and Paisley Park. I put Faheen and Paisley Park in it just because that's what they are. They are in it this year. For me, I would go Big Bucks wins. He's just a machine to win. He just wanted to win, and he was winning every time. Second, I go Thistlecrack because Thistlecrack was very good over hurdles. He has a good chance in the Gold Cup this year, but he's old enough now. So yeah. And then third spot, I'm going to go over Paisley Park. I think Paisley Park, it'll be between Paisley Park or Faheen. And I think Paisley Park might actually be Faheen, but I still think Faheen will not be too far away. And then moving on to the last one is the Gold Cup, and Jesus Christ, boys, I was looking at this. There are some serious horses in here. So we're going to go, just let me write it down. We're going to go Best Mate, Kicking King, War of Attrition, Koto Star, Denman, Imperial Commander, Synchronized, Don Cossack, Sizen John, Native River, presenting Percy, Kemboy, and Clandays Oboe, just to keep the boys in that are in it for this year's renewal. But I don't think they're going to come up to it. Maybe the winner, if it's presenting Percy, maybe, but other than that, I don't know. You'll have to wait, and time will tell. But for me, I'd have Koto Star winning it, Denman for second, and Kicking King for third. I remember Kicking King. I loved the horse. He was probably one of my favourite horses at the time that he ran. And yeah, I think Koto Star and Denman, when I was growing up, I knew more of Koto Star than Denman. But looking at it now, you know the two of them were locked together, and I think the two of them would still be locked together, and I think they'd be fighting it out for the win here. Yeah, look, there are my selections anyway that I would just going back just for a bit of fun, you know. Look, it's a fucking week to go. Hopefully we can get a few winners. I look tired as fuck, I know, but Jesus, I can't wait for it. I can't wait. We're only you know the worst thing about it, you build up from the minute it's over or the start of the jump season next season, like until Cheltenham, and then fucking the first day is over. Jesus, only 3 days left. Second day it's over. You're halfway through it, and you're like, boys, I'm not. Either you're fucking enjoying it, or you're on the other end of this on the scale, and you're absolutely hating it. You want it to be over, and then when it's over, you're like, bollocks, it's over. I have to wait till next year, and then you're on to Aintree, which is okay, and then Punchestown just to round it off. Punchestown for me is the main one after Cheltenham. Yeah, I will do more selections for Aintree and Punchestown, but they won't be, in terms of volume, they won't be as big as Cheltenham, because Cheltenham is the main thing. But for Punchestown, I will be doing a fair bit, because I like Punchestown. I will be going to a lot of them because it's only fucking like a half an hour away from me, so it's okay. And yeah, look, they're okay. Corral, that's my selection for this week. It's not a really strong selection. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know there's a few lads that have enjoyed it anyway, and obviously a few lads are subscribing. I will look at the flat racing as well when the jump season is over, and we'll keep it going, you know. I am thinking of doing more with soccer and GA and stuff other as well. I know I call it soccer, but don't hate me. I just call it soccer. That's come out of my mouth. We'll say football. So I'm going to do football and GA and, you know, racing as well, like just weekend racing and stuff, and reviewing what happened and stuff, just to keep it going, because I've enjoyed doing this. I know some people don't think I'm too clued in, but hopefully plenty of winners in Cheltenham. Well, I'll try and make a video next week. Yeah, I'm gonna have my select. I'm gonna go Cheltenham preview now, just when I'm finished this video. Sure, look, like it, subscribe it. You know what to fucking do. Yeah, that's it. I look going back on it. Larichburg is opened the race up. Silas Emery probably won't go. Hopefully Sancro goes. Like, look, I know I have bets on them and all, but I love to see who is the best. I love it. I don't care. As long as the best horse wins, for me, if I have money on the other horse and I'm a loser, that's it. You have to suck it up and fucking dig deep the next time and get the winner. Yeah, it's not just a bit of advice for you, just to round it off. Cheltenham is not a fucking sprint. Do not go hard on the Supreme. The Supreme is a very open race. Like, I've been there, I've done that. I fucking, like last year, I went hard enough on Get a Bird. And look, he won. I got him again in Ferryhouse. I didn't back him in Punchestown. Look, the best advice I could give you would be just not to back every horse that runs. Don't back in every race. You may think it's fucking brilliant and all, but if you do back in every race, you're more than likely going to lose. If you have any slightest doubt on a horse that you think is, you say you have a selection and you have a small bit of doubt in your mind, don't back him. Back something else in another race, or just watch the race. Maybe half your stake or whatever, back it each way. As well, like, don't go mad on the if you're losing on the first day. There's still 3 more days. It's all about being up at the end. You know, I know lads now last year that had Altior and they had fucking Benny DeJoy, a few doubles and trebles and stuff. With Somerville Boy, I remember a few lads I was talking to had Somerville Boy, and I was a bit pissed off now that I was on Get a Bird, but and then they ended up losing it come the second day, like, and if you do get a winner or two, enjoy it. Fucking come on, you know. It's hard enough to get a winner in this game. Yeah. So look, best of luck to everyone. Best of fucking luck. Hopefully you're on my side and you've backed fucking Sir Eric when I fucking first put up the video or whatever, and you've backed Tiger Roll and we're all cheering on the fucking Tiger Roll. But yeah, just actually in terms of I know I thought there was going to be a short enough video, but look, in terms of the champion trainer and all this, in terms of the Presbyterian Cup, Jesus boys, I don't know. Last year I was all over Ireland. This year it's going to be a tight one. It will be a tight one. I see it will be tight. The English have British. We won't call it English. We'll call it British. But for me, it is English, because it is in Cheltenham and all. Sorry if you are offended by that, but with the British, a good few handicap horses, and they could be very close. I do feel, in terms of the Stayers Hurdle, you could win the Stayers Hurdle with Paisley Park. In terms of the Gold Cup, I think the Gold Cup could be Irish this year. Sorry to burst your bubble there. In terms of the Champion Hurdle, realistically, the Irish have a better hand with 2 compared to Bouverdaire is 1. And the Champion Chase is yours. Even if the smallest if Altior is beaten, it's not going to be. I wouldn't. Altior is still the best horse in the race, and I hope he does win. I really do hope he wins. I was looking at it now. I'm looking at the prices at 4-5 Ireland, 5-4 Great Britain. I could see 7-1 for a tie. like, I was just going through it again. I know a few races have cut up and all that, but I wouldn't advise you. I'd advise you, like, I wouldn't be going hard in on a 5-4 or a 4-5 shot. But in terms of an outsider, like a 7-1 for a ties, I think it's okay. In terms of top jockey, I think it will be Walsh. I mean, I know it's very open this year. Geraghty second in the betting. I don't know about Jack Kennedy or Davy Russell, considering with Jigginstown they're going to split up. They have like Appleshade as one and Delta Work is another. Like, that's going to eat into it, and then you're looking at a few handicaps. In terms of the champion trainer, Gordon Ellis for me all day, and 5-4 is still reasonably a good price. Nicky Henderson, I can see him, like, if Bouvardere will have to win. Bouvardere has to win. Okay, Corral has to win. Altier will win. You know, he kind of needs everything to go right for him. Considering Gordon Elliott will have fucking mass amounts of horses that are very well handicapped in the handicaps and stuff. And then in terms of the top owner, I see JB Romanis is a 2-5 shot. I don't know. I wouldn't be taking 2-5. Consider, like, I know if Bouvardere is turned over, say if Corral is turned over, you know, then Jigginstown start to get a few handicaps or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't be going to that. In terms of the selection, I'd be going for Gordon Elliott at 5-4 to be top trainer. And look, I know we've gone long enough, but look, that's the video. Sorry for going long enough. Just a bit of advice and stuff like that. Look, it's no harm. Take it on board if you want. If not, don't listen to me. I might be talking bollocks. But yeah, look, that's the video. We'll see you.